listening and note-taking strategies. And the beginning of the chapter summarizes the learning and memory process, which is broken down into 3 stages. The first was sensory input, the second was memory formation, and the third was memory recall. Sensory input is perception, how you perceive the information and absorb it into your brain. You can do that through taking notes in lecture and active listening. Memory formation is storage. It's how you save the information into your brain. You can do that through good note-taking skills. Memory recall is retrieval, being able to bring the information to mind after you've learned it. And you can do that by reviewing your notes after class.
After that, we have pre-lecture. That's like how to get prepared before you come to class. What to do. What you do is you check your syllabus to find out where you are in the class, like how far we go, what we covered already, and what we have to cover. And then, how you get to class early. When you get to class early, you get a few minutes. You review the notes from the previous class. And then you get prepared for the class. And for the previous class, and then you have time to take a look at the what you're gonna cover for the day. So when you do that, your brain is able to you get the information quicker in there. It's like it's already there, it's already processed. So you get into details, you can take more details note easier when you do that. Like when you come to class prepared. Unlike me, sometimes that is just rush here and I have no idea what she's doing. So I'm talking from experience. It is really true. So when you prepare for class, you get early, class start, and then you move with it. You get more from the lecture of the day.
During lectures, you review your notes. It helps you retain the information, and you get higher scores on your tests by doing this. You also have to focus on important information that's going on in the lectures. You need to pay attention to what your teacher puts in writing. He mostly is going to sit there and reiterate the information that is important to you, so he needs you to sit there and if you read what he's writing on the board and write it down, he'll sit there and he'll retain it better. Pay attention at the beginning and the end of lectures. He most likely, or she will most likely go over information that you should know. He'll sit there and say, like repeat information over and over. Once they repeat information, you'll probably retain it more. Students retain 90% of what's written on the board, or what's written down or handed out in paperwork, so you can retain that. Organize notes. Be alert to when your instructor goes on to a new topic. You need to know keywords to know that you're stopping your notes there and starting a new section. That helps. And then even if you don't know what the lecture is about or what the class, what he's teaching, write notes. It'll help you later on. You can go back, read it in the book, and help you understand what he's talking about later.
Good afternoon, class. I had a post lecture. So the post lecture, lecture. As soon as class ends, quickly check your notes for missing information or incomplete thoughts. By doing this, you will transfer the notes you have taken from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, which will help in the long run. Because when you're cramming, it only stores in the short term. So and you don't retain it if it ever comes back later in the future. So it's better to store the notes you have taken in the long term. Then also this would help if you are missing any notes. If you're missing any key words, for example, that the professor has pointed out, you can always ask the professor before he leaves by reviewing your notes right after class instead of when you go home. The next thing is before class, need to reflect and review your notes to make sense of them. Translating technical information into your own words to make it more meaningful to you. Basically what this is trying to say is that this will help you understand it more whenever you are learning, because you have it in your own, like if you can turn something into your own words, that means you understand what it is. And then also reorganizing your notes to get ideas related to the same place. Basically what this is I'm at a loss for words right now, but I'm sure you guys get the point.
I got it.
Okay. Taking notes on what your instructions says is very important because you have time to reflect on the notes. In your own ways. You can reflect on it the way you think you understand it, and check your notes as soon as class ends. Like he said, it will help your short memory to store it in your long-term memory. Like me, I have a very short-term memory. That's what I usually do. Right after class, I try, like when I get home, I try to review what has been taught by my instructor and what I've written down from listening. It helps a lot. And also review and reflect your notes before your next class, because it's hard to understand everything that's been said the first time you hear it. Instead, listening and taking notes helps you set aside time for reviewing your notes.
Okay. Done?
Do you guys have any questions? That's what she said.
Absolutely right. Right. My question is, I missed a lecture. What should I do?
You should
Ask your classmates.
For what?
you should
So, should I take the notes?
you should ask a reliable classmate that you know who's always there if they have, well, first you should see if they have a student teacher. Because that's the first person you should probably go to, like Diego, for example.
Okay,
and
Diego
then,
out, yeah.
Yeah, and then if he doesn't have the notes or you don't have a student teacher available, then you can always ask a classmate that you trust, that has taken the
So
break.
And we can check
Check your Moodle.
the Moodle.
Why it is so bad to copy the other notes?
Because they
A
know
lot of
that they're
times I
right
just
or wrong.
took the notes of my friend and I try to copy. Why it doesn't work?
Because you're not helping yourself, and so you don't know if your classmate is right or wrong.
Okay, so not
You
trustworthy.
don't wanna get the wrong information.
Different students will perceive the same information differently and write it down on paper differently. And I may not be able to understand someone else's notes as opposed to my own.
And my last question. So there was something that was missing. There was some interesting system, not traditional, that of note taking. Usually, how you take notes? You just write, maybe put bullets, put
You're
1,
talking
2,
about
3.
Cornell notes?
Yes.
Cornell
What?
notes.
So what you can tell me about this technique?
Well, it's a more organized technique.
It's another view to organize it. How it is work? How does it work?
I haven't done it in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I know it did help.
Yeah.
I only broke the paper up into
Pieces,
Yeah,
two parts.
yeah.
They make it like small part, big part, and the bottom. What is on the bottom? Usually, what is in the bottom? Conclusion. What is on the left part?
It's basically like a topic, like
Or
a
maybe
subtopic.
questions.
Oh,
Or maybe questions. And the biggest part is what you are writing usually. And in such a way, so asking questions, you keep in mind what you need to ask, what you need to student here, whatever. And the conclusion is like a summary if you need to quickly look through it. Okay, thank you everybody. Next group.